Hey guys, it's Boost, and today I'll show you how to make the clone effect on light motion. So I have my clip here, and now you want to start flagging. So if you don't know how to flag, you go to this icon and you click it once. So that's one flag. So you want to make one flag a little to the start, and then one a little bit here, and the last one at the end. So now you click on layer 1 and you duplicate it, and then you go to this eye and you hide it. So now you click on layer 1, you go to effects, and you add something called Chroma Key. Now I have Chroma Key here in my recents, but if you don't, you can go to the search bar and just type Chroma Key. So now you add the standard settings and you go to key color and you go to this pen, and now the circle, you want to move it a little bit to the waterfall. So now I have this clip which has a waterfall, so I want to do that. But if you have another clip, then you can just black out the full background. So we change the threshold to 1022 and we duplicate Chroma Key 1, so duplicate, and then you go back to key color. So now since I have this, I need to hide the whole background, but if your whole background is already hidden, then you can skip this step. So I'll just go and hide this. So now you click on cross and then you go to threshold. So you don't skip this step, but then you change the threshold to 0.736. 0.736. So now what you want to do is you go back to the main menu and you click on this eye again. So then you unhide it and it looks somewhat like this. So now you click on layer 1, you go to move and transform, and you want to move it a little bit to the left. So not too much, just this much. And now what you do is you go back to the Chroma Key, and then you go to Chroma Key 2 and you want to change the threshold to 0.446. There we go. So now you want to go back to the move and transform, and you move it back to the left. And so again, not too much, and you go back to effects, you go to Chroma Key 2 and you duplicate it. So now what you want to do is you go back to move and transform and move it back to the right. So and then we move it a little bit more and we go back to effects, go to Chroma Key number 3 and duplicate it again. So now you go back to move and transform and you make it look like it was earlier. So there we go. And now you want to duplicate layer 1 twice. So duplicate once and duplicate twice. There we go. So now what you want to do is you go to move and transform again, and now on the flags you start making keyframes. So keyframe number 1, keyframe number 2. So right now we only do 2 keyframes, and now on the second keyframe you want to move it left. So now we actually start doing the clone effect. So you move it to the left and a little bit more. So now in between keyframe 1 and 2, you go to this icon and you go to the last one and you move this up so it looks like this. So now you add the last keyframe. So you go to the end, you add a keyframe, and now you move it back. So like this. And in between these two again, you go to graph and you go back to this, but you do the opposite. So now you do the same thing on layer 3. So yeah, so it's like this. Oh guys, I'm so sorry, I did something very wrong. You go to layer 2 and you change, you delete all of these keyframes. We actually had to do this on layer 2. So sorry about this. But yeah, you do the same thing. And then you go to this second keyframe. And again do the same thing, you make it go out. And then in the middle of these two, you again add the graph. And you move it back here. And in the middle of these two, you do the same thing. So now guys, I did this a little fast, but how I did on layer 1, do not do it on layer 1, I made a mistake. So just repeat that on layer 2. And now you want to do the same thing on layer 3. So you can actually skip this part because I'm going to be doing the same thing. So now I'm going to transform 1, 2, and 3. We go to keyframe 2. We move it outwards. So again this much. And then yeah. So now you do the same thing. You go there. And well yeah. So I'll just be back after a short break. Yeah, so guys, I'm back. So till now we've done the clone effect. So now we're gonna color the clone effect so it looks a little better. So first what you want to do is go into layer 2, go to effects and add something called Colorize. Now I have it in my recents, but again if you don't, you go to Colorize, you go to the search bar and then you type Colorize. So then you choose the standard settings and you choose any color you like. So I like the color red, so I'm going to choose red. And then we copy this effect and we paste it into layer 3. So now if you see, it becomes colored. And now we're going to add something called Hue Shift. So you go to add effect, Hue Shift. And you add 2 keyframes where the first 2 flags are. So you click on this where it's written Hue Shift. And keyframe number 1, keyframe number 2. Now on keyframe number 2, you want to change the hue shift over to 360. So don't go over this white line. So now change this color, and now we're basically gonna do the same thing. So we copy the effect and we add it here. Now since we've copied the effect, we don't need to use keyframes on the second layer. And yeah, we're done. So that was my clone effect tutorial. Hope it helped. Thanks.